Finally, after 32 episodes, we finally arrived at the last bit of the China series. We talked about the sparks of Beijing and Shanghai, the stories of the Silk Road, the mountains and deserts, temples and wonders of China. And today we arrive at the very last province we haven't talked about yet, Zhejiang. So join me today as we wrap up this series. Hi, my name is Sebastian and you're watching 7 Facts. A place just a tad larger than Hungary, Zhejiang is first of all a densely packed region. 64.5 million people inhabit these lands, which equates to about 630 people per every square kilometer. You may not have heard of this place, but in the country, Zhejiang has been known as the backbone of China, due first and foremost to it being a major driving force of the economy. And if we look at the numbers, it shows. Zhejiang has the 4th largest GDP in China, and at $1.1 trillion, that's actually more than what Netherlands has. Anyway, this province accounts for just 1% of China, and most of that is just rolling hills after rolling hills after rolling hills and mountains. Interestingly enough, Zhejiang also has the longest coastline of any province. That sounds not true, I know, but the reason for this is because there are around 3,000 islands included in the province. So, is this all to say about Zhejiang? Or is there anything else worth mentioning? Let's dig a little deeper. Zhejiang has a long history dating back to very ancient times. Archaeological discoveries have revealed that human activities in the region can be traced all the way back to the Paleolithic Age, that being the Stone Age. Just like everywhere else, Zhejiang was inhabited by various ethnic groups who lived in primitive communities and engaged in agriculture, fishing, and hunting. But aside from the relics, bones, and tools they left behind, there's not a lot else we can say about those long-gone people. The real action that's significant to our story begins around the Three Kingdoms period, in the 3rd century AD, when this part of the world was included in the Eastern Wu Kingdom. The kingdom, led by Sun Quan, had its capital in present-day Nanjing, but has significant control over Zhejiang too, which played a strategic role in the many conflicts between the three kingdoms and witnessed numerous bloody battles and political developments. Buddhism also gained a foothold here very early on. 1700 years ago, Longjing Temple, one of the largest Buddhist temples in China, was founded in Hangzhou, making Zhejiang a vector of this religion's spread. The biggest development, though, came during the Song dynasty about 1,000 years later. In those years, Zhejiang became a prosperous center of commerce and trade. It was in this era that one of mankind's greatest projects, the Grand Canal, was brought to its peak efficiency, connecting Beijing in the north to Zhejiang's capital, Hangzhou. But it's not just Hangzhou that's worth mentioning. This province actually has a long history of maritime trade and exploration. Zhejiang's coastal cities, such as Ningbo and Wenzhou, thrived as major ports for international trade. Sailors embarked from here on voyages to Southeast Asia, India, and even as far as Africa, contributing to cultural exchanges and economic growth. As we approach our era, we encounter the Qing dynasty, China's last imperial family, and under them the region experienced relative stability and economic growth for a while. Because towards the end, Zhejiang, like the rest of China, faced some major challenges and turmoil during the 19th and early 20th centuries. The humiliating Opium Wars, the atrocious Taiping Rebellion, and foreign invasions devastated these lands. The Opium Wars saw the opening of Ningbo and Wenzhou to foreign trade and special treatment for those foreigners, of course. The Taiping Rebellion, which was a religious civil war, led to the literal depopulation of the northwestern and central parts of the province. Then, in World War II, Japan invaded the lands, and that meant more death. To intimidate the locals into not helping down the American airmen, Japanese imperial forces killed at least 250,000 locals. Once that was over, the Chinese Civil War resumed, the Communists won. Mao Zedong came up with the brilliant idea of the Cultural Revolution, which further killed up to 20 million people, including in Zhejiang. Only after this did Zhejiang begin to climb out of these miseries. Slowly, the province has become known for its thriving manufacturing and export industries like textiles, electronics, and even automobiles. Today, Zhejiang continues to be a prosperous and dynamic province, blending its rich historical heritage with modern advancements. It is known for its vibrant culture, technological innovation, and scenic landscapes, actually making it a significant contributor to China's social, economic, and cultural fabric. The capital of Zhejiang is the city of Hangzhou, a city with a history dating back over 2200 years. It was originally founded as Changtang County during the Qin dynasty of the 3rd century BC and served as a strategic location for trade and transportation due to its proximity to the Grand Canal and the Changtang River. Much later, about 1,000 years ago, Hangzhou became the capital of its own kingdom, Lin'an. In fact, as the southern terminus of the Grand Canal, Hangzhou grew to prominence and has been one of China's most renowned and prosperous cities for much of the last millennium. It became a cosmopolitan city, a center of arts, culture, and trade, attracting scholars, poets, and merchants from all over China and beyond. One famous visitor of Hangzhou was none other than Marco Polo. The Venetian explorer visited the city in the late 13th century and was captivated by its beauty and wealth. He described it as the finest and noblest city in the world, and his writings helped popularize Hangzhou's fame and attracted the attention of traders and travelers from Europe. Since then, the city went through significant changes due to political shifts and modernization efforts. Nevertheless, today this urban center of nearly 12 million is a vibrant and prosperous city known for its advanced technology, innovative industries, and tourism. It may not be as famous as Beijing or Shanghai, but it is definitely way up there in every positive statistic of China you can find. Out of 64.5 million people of Zhejiang, 64 million are ethnically Han Chinese and the rest are other minorities. Now you might say you can't get any more homogeneous than that, and you'd be wrong. There's actually a lot of diversity in Zhejiang, just not ethnically but linguistically. Most inhabitants speak the Wu dialect of the Sinitic languages, but that Wu language is actually a collection of some very diverse dialects. How diverse? The differences can be so big that people from different regions may not understand each other, and in fact, especially in the south, there are regions where one valley may speak a dialect that's completely unintelligible to the next valley just a few kilometers away. Wu dialects do have their roots in ancient Chinese and are known for their distinct pronunciation, vocabulary, and grammar, and even though Mandarin has been promoted as the lingua franca of China, it too is mutually unintelligible with any of the Wu dialects. Mandarin is also present as a native language too, by the way, with its own dialects. And to further complicate things, the Min language, a branch that's separate from both Mandarin and Wu, is also present in Zhejiang, as is the Huizhou language, with dialects and all. The linguistic tapestry of Zhejiang wouldn't be complete without the Shehua language. Spoken primarily by the She ethnic minority, particularly in areas like Wenzhou and Taizhou, the Shehua language is an unclassified Sinitic language on its own. Its distinctiveness adds yet another layer of linguistic diversity to the province. This amazing tapestry of Zhejiang's languages reflects the historical and cultural complexities of the region. The different dialects and languages spoken in the province highlight a very unique linguistic heritage, adding to the cultural richness of Zhejiang. In recent years, Zhejiang has become the so-called backbone of China's economic growth and followed its own development model, dubbed the Zhejiang Model. This model is a combination of a multitude of factors, so it's pretty difficult to explain, but I'll try anyway. The first thing to mention is the province's entrepreneurial spirit. The people of Zhejiang are known for their industriousness, creativity, and willingness to take risks. This entrepreneurial spirit is nothing new and owes its existence thanks to the history of the region. But spirit alone is not enough. You usually need some form of government support, which came in the form of market-oriented reforms. Zhejiang embraced such reforms early on, allowing for more flexible economic policies and encouraging private enterprise. The province has been a pioneer in implementing economic reforms which have fostered innovation, competition, and efficiency. Just think Alibaba and AliExpress. Both are headquartered in Hangzhou. Big companies alone won't cut it though. You need small businesses if you want to survive. And Zhejiang understood this. Its economic landscape is dominated by a vast number of small and medium-sized enterprises. These enterprises have played a crucial role in driving economic growth, generating employment opportunities, and promoting technological advancements. Now that you have the basics, you group them together and make them cooperate. Zhejiang has encouraged the development of industry clusters where related businesses and industries coexist and collaborate. This cluster approach promotes specialization, knowledge sharing, and synergies, resulting in increased productivity and competitiveness. Next, you gotta sell your stuff and make a name for yourself. Best way to do that is to export. And if you think AliExpress is the only big exporter, know that they are just the tip of the iceberg in Zhejiang. The province's strategic location near major ports and its well-developed transportation infrastructure all mean that almost everybody exports something here. And finally, probably the most important thing is education, and Zhejiang excels at this too. The province has established numerous research institutes, universities, and innovation parks, promoting the development of new technologies, fostering collaborations between academia and industry, and nurturing a culture of innovation. This area is actually among the most active in terms of research and science, not just in China, but in the world. Overall, the Zhejiang model represents a unique combination of many things, but this is the model that has propelled Zhejiang province to become a dynamic economic powerhouse, contributing significantly to China's overall economic growth and serving as a model for other regions to emulate. Something else this province is very well known for is one of its delicious products, Longjing Tea. Also known as Dragon Well tea, this is a renowned variety of green tea that has deep roots in Zhejiang province, specifically in the West Lake region near the city of Hangzhou. Its origins are legendary, dating back over 1,000 years. According to the legend, Emperor Changlong of the Qing dynasty visited the West Lake area and was captivated by the tea's exceptional flavor. Impressed by the skill of the local tea farmers, he bestowed imperial recognition upon the tea, elevating its status and popularity. And he wasn't wrong. Longjing tea thrives solely in the unique geographical and climatic conditions of the West Lake region and has a very distinctive taste, grassy aroma, and a smooth buttery texture. Not only that, but Longjing tea is meticulously handcrafted using traditional techniques. The tea leaves are carefully picked in early spring when they are young and tender, then they undergo precise processes such as fixation, rolling, and drying to preserve their natural flavors and nutrients. The handcrafted approach ensures the highest quality and consistency of this tea. Longjing tea has been enjoyed by emperors, scholars, and tea enthusiasts throughout history. The tea is to this day associated with elegance, refinement, and tranquility, reflecting the region's aesthetic sensibilities. Longjing tea serves as a symbol of Zhejiang, and its reputation for excellence has made it one of the most highly sought-after teas, both domestically and internationally. Zhejiang is a place where any tourist would feel like they got a bang for their buck. But it's not just a province of rolling hills, ancient towns, and cultural relics. Zhejiang is also the home of silk. Well, one of them. This place is known as one of the earliest regions to cultivate and produce silk. Fragments of a primitive silk loom have been found at the sites of the Hemudu culture dating back to about 4000 BC. The art of sericulture, the process of rearing silkworms and harvesting their silk, has been practiced in Zhejiang practically since the dawn of civilization in China. Of course, for the rest of the world, this was an unknown art, and it wasn't until the Silk Road that silk made its way into global markets. That ancient network of trade routes connecting China with the rest of the world was the one that played the vital role in the dissemination of silk. And if you're a connoisseur, you will have heard of mulberry silk. That's the type of silk that's considered the finest, and it's the most prized, and guess what? Zhejiang is renowned for its production. Mulberry trees, which are abundant in the region, serve as the primary food source for silkworms. The leaves of these trees provide the necessary nutrients for the silkworms to spin their cocoons and produce the lustrous silk fibers. Zhejiang's connection to silk production is deeply rooted in its history, and the province's contribution to the silk industry has been instrumental in shaping China's reputation as the birthplace of silk. And today, Zhejiang continues to preserve its silk traditions while embracing modern techniques, ensuring that its silk products maintain their esteemed status as exquisite works of art. that was all for today's episode. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like and subscribe before you leave. Leave your comments downstairs, and if you wish to do so, you can help out this channel through my Patreon page. I do hope to see you next time. Bye.